Today I'm going to introduce you to my brand new car, a 1968 Oldsmobile 98. I bought this car from a friend of mine, and he bought it just because he thought it was neat, and he kept it a while and did a little bit of work to it. I don't know much about the history of it really, but I pretty much bought it because I thought it was neat too. It's got a, well, originally it was rated at 365 horsepower. It's got the 455 big block Olds, and it had also rated at 500 foot-pounds of torque, which is impressive by anybody's standard. And it had 10-to-1 compression, and the car is kind of old and junky looking, but that's what makes it fun. I mean, it rides smooth. It's got the front end rebuilt and it's been aligned, and it's got a lot going for it. It does have some rust here and there, mainly in the hood and at the bottom of the fenders, but as far as the structure, the floor, the rockers, that's all pretty good really. There's some, the trunk itself is not rusty, but the trunk lid has quite a bit of rust in it, unfortunately. But overall, it's just, you know, fun to drive, and I thought it'd be neat to have. And I hadn't had anything with any power in a while, and this thing's got quite a bit of power considering. Here's the engine compartment. The bad thing about it is it has two cylinders that are low on compression. One is severely low, around 65 pounds, and when I got it, it barely ran, but I've got it tuned about as good as I think it'll run, and even with those shortcomings, it runs surprisingly well. Like, I don't even know what it ran like when it was new. It still blows you away. And you can see I swapped, it had a points distributor. I put a slightly later model HEI distributor in and got a set of universal plug wires and made them to length. But yeah, little things here and there. The car's pretty well optioned. I'll show you some of the features it's got. Here's the inside. The seat's torn, but overall it's really not that bad. The headliner's intact. As you can see, it was the 4-door hardtop, which is kind of neat. When all the windows go down, you got a seamless window or opening. And it had power seats and has power windows, power antenna. It currently has a rim blow steering wheel, but it doesn't work because the steering wheel is old and cracked. And it has telescoping steering wheel, tilt column, all kinds of good stuff. Here's a view of in the trunk. It's got a fuel cell in the back. Unfortunately, the original tank is gone. I guess somebody thought it was in bad shape and just got rid of it, which is sad because they don't make them for these cars new. And probably in whatever shape it was in, I most likely could have fixed it. So that's unfortunate. So no fuel gauge or anything. So you just open this up and have a look in, see how much gas you have. And another unfortunate thing is, as I imagine, it gets pretty bad fuel economy. And you're supposed to run high test fuel in there because it's got a 10-to-1 compression ratio from the factory, and so you don't want any pinging. I'll go ahead and start it up for you, and you'll hear the compression, the uneven compression. It runs a lot better than it did when I first got it, but of course it's still not 100%. You see the engine shake when it's sitting there running. But then again, like I was saying, they run surprisingly well, all considering. I think we should take it for a drive. So here we are driving down the road. The thing rides smooth. And it's, like I said, plenty of power with a cylinder with 60 pounds of compression. It's got the turbo 400 transmission, and the rear is some huge 12-bolt Oldsmobile rear end they don't make any parts for, and it's got a 293 open differential. I wish it had posi, but that's not reasonable to find original parts, I guess, and when you do find them, I guess they're a lot of money, so we're probably not going to go that way. But I mean, the thing has little 14-inch wheels and tires, and that right rear, it will melt that tire.